Hello! Earlier this week, I made some TikToks where I went over the resurfaced David Letterman clips. These are of Paris Hilton, of Lindsay Lohan, and now that it's the weekend, I have some time to really look into them more in depth. So in this video, what I first want to do is just talk about how the whole culture was in the early 2000s, especially towards women. I was going to say pop stars, but even women celebrities, how they were treated and perceived and just what the atmosphere was. And then what I'd like to do is look at the Paris Hilton interview and the Lindsay Lohan interview. And yeah, what I will do is in the description, I will put timestamps to make the video easy to navigate if you want to hop through or just go to a certain part or skip a certain part. Okay? Hi. I'm interrupting. I just realized that I keep referencing my TikTok. I'm editing the video right now. Oh. And I keep referencing my TikTok. So I think my video will just make more sense if I put the TikTok in. It's 3 of them, so it's not more than 3 minutes. Then when I make those references, if you hadn't seen it, it's just going to make sense what I'm talking about and what this video is about. I'm over-explaining, so here they are. Old David Letterman clips have been resurfacing. First, we saw the Lindsay Lohan 2013 interview. Now we're seeing the 2007 Paris Hilton interview. And just a reminder, when these celebrities go on the show, they're there to promote something. Also, everything is pre-planned. So if the host talks about something they hadn't previously agreed to, that would be considered a low blow. Paris's stipulation for coming on the show was that they didn't ask her about her recent jail time. Within 30 seconds of her sitting down, he was asking her about the jail time. Plus, she's totally put on the spot now because there's a whole audience there, so you're going to look bad if you don't answer the question. In Lindsay's interview, he asks her about rehab and a lot of personal questions. She even says, hey, this wasn't in the pre-interview. He just disregards that and continues to ask her questions. And when Paris asks to change topics, he disregards her as well. In this video, I'm going over the Lindsay Lohan one. So as soon as she comes out, he starts cracking a list of one-liners at her expense. And you can tell she's trying to go along with it, but then he pivots to this.
Now, aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
It's really obvious she's flustered, and then he just continues on, asking a series of extremely personal questions.
What are they going to work on when you walk through the door?
We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview.
No, but
he disregards that and then continues to ask more questions about the rehab until she says this.
So now, when you go to the rehab, what do they do?
We're here for a movie.
We have to what?
Let's stay on the positive.
Oh, what?
But that still doesn't stop him. In this video, I'm going over the Paris Hilton interview. Her reason for going on the show was to promote her perfume. She did have a stipulation that she would only do the interview if they did not speak about her recent jail visit. Less than 30 seconds after she sat down in that seat, they asked her about her jail visit.
Yeah, good for you. How'd you like being in jail?
Paris spoke about this interview. She said she felt like David was intentionally trying to humiliate her. And even in the interview, she told David this.
Have you made...
But I've moved on with my life, so I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
He didn't listen to her. He continued to ask her questions about jail.
This is where you and I are different, because this is all I want to talk about.
Finally, she's about as direct as you can possibly be.
Answering any more questions?
No more questions.
I'm here for my clothing line and my movie.
So the first thing I want to talk about is just the atmosphere in the early 2000s. The world we lived in not too long ago, it wasn't the same atmosphere. It's hard to explain because I'm not at all trying to say that makes it okay. So I'm not really sure I'm not sure the right way to say that. So I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just trying to set the setting. Set the setting. That does not flow, but okay. Oh, and I'm referencing an article right now. Let me show you before we get too far. And I don't understand this. On your computer, so here's my computer, the Washington Post. I cannot view this article without paying. But on my phone, hold on, open up. On my phone, I can read it. So I'm filming with my phone right now, so I can't show it to you, but I took a screenshot so you can see the article. Reading this story today makes me cringe. Female stars in the media machine of the early 2000s. So this is the article that I'm referencing right now. Okay, so I remember this. The article talks about this, but I remember this. And it wasn't just for Lindsay Lohan. Oh, yeah, you can see the picture. It wasn't just for Lindsay Lohan. This was like a common, normal thing, is for people to do countdowns for when they turned 18 of young women. And I mean, and it wouldn't just be like, oh, in a Reddit. I don't even know if Reddit existed. I don't know when Reddit became a thing. But you know how, like, sometimes in forums like that, you'll see people say kind of scummy type things. No, this was like broad, mainstream, okay to talk about. Like, oh, so-and-so is turning 18. And, you know, like, let's say a radio show might have like a countdown where they just, you know, and it's like, why? But this was like a normal thing. And if you did this today, this would not go over. Could you imagine? Who's a star that's not 18 yet? See, I don't even want to make a scenario. I don't even want to make a hypothetical scenario where I name somebody under 18 and say if this happened to them today, that wouldn't be okay. Because then that might just put a thought in a creep's mind that it wasn't in their mind prior. So I'm not even going to say anyone's name. I don't even want to plant a seed. But that's how much it's changed. Okay. Back to Lindsay Lohan. So that was happening with her. All these countdowns for her to turn 18. And then she did this interview with Rolling Stone magazine. And this was 1 week after she turned 18, she did this interview. So she's an adult now. And the guy who interviewed her, I have a tab here. His name is Mark Binelli. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. And I just want to point out a few things in this article because it's just kind of alarming to take a step back and just see that's where we were. And it's not about Mark. There were tons of Marks, right? Mark is a cog in the system. There's tons of him. This is the world that we lived in back then. So it's more about that than it is about Mark, okay? So here's the article, Lindsay Lohan, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. And the opening sentence, this is how it starts, all caps. Lindsay Lohan has been 18 for just under a week. When she tells me her breasts are real, then he continues, I did not ask, gentlemen never do, though my reporting, discreet visual fact-checking, ogling her, a goodbye hug, seems to confirm her statement. Oh, this makes me never want to hug somebody again. It's like, do you even see her as human? Then, further down in the article, it actually kind of answers what I was just asking about. Like, what was the point of these until they turn 18 countdown type things? He says right here, but suddenly this year, it became socially acceptable to note that the red-headed child actress was hot. So, yeah. Social acceptance to objectify her once she turns 18. Blah. So that was the world we lived in. And it wasn't just Lindsay Lohan. It wasn't just Mark Binelli. And oh my gosh, look at the cover of this magazine. Just an example, another example to just show you how immersed just this environment was, this mindset was. It was everywhere. This just was reality. Cover of this magazine. Can we ever forgive Justin Timberlake for all that sissy music? Hey, at least he got into Britney's pants. Just notice up here. Forget feminism. Forget feminism. Why your wife should take your name. Something else should be noted. Mark Binelli, he has actually spoken about that Lindsay Lohan interview, like, more recently. And I can't show you the quote because it was on the Washington Post article, but I have it. So here, you can look at his picture while I read you the quote. Reading this story today makes me cringe, and I deeply regret writing it and any other ways in which I participated in the rampant misogyny of the media landscape at the time. Personally, I do believe people can change. I don't know enough about him to know if that was just, saying that because he felt like he had to say it, or if he really had changed. But I think it's important to note that he did say that. And if he did change, then that's great. That's excellent. That's a good thing. And another thing to note about the early 2000s is, yes, the internet existed, but like our main sources of media, let's say in 2003, probably wasn't like the internet. Our main source would be magazines, TV. So these articles, they had a much further reach, I think, than like a Rolling Stone article would have today. On my TikTok videos, there were some reoccurring comments. They were saying that Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, they go on the David Letterman show, then they should be expected to, those questions to be asked of them. And so to the people saying like, oh, they should have known, it's like, well, these are planned things, and they are there to promote something. All that the late night shows are is commercials. It's a commercial. And if you don't believe me, how about we have Paul Rudd tell you? And I just happened to be watching First We Feast, the show where they eat the hot wings. And this was from, I think, a 2018 or 19. Here, wait, I have the tab. I'll tell you when it's from. 2019 interview where he talks about the late night experience. And so we'll have Paul tell us about it. And he just so happens to start talking about David Letterman. So this is like the perfect thing for us to watch before we go into these interviews. So this will just be a couple of minutes. Here we go.
Then late night, it's its own beast because then there's this implicit expectation to perform.
Yeah.
As someone with stage experience, are you more comfortable in a setting like that than, say, like a film junket?
No, they're all, those things are always nerve-wracking. And I think I learned at an early age that it is all artificial. You know, as a kid, I would watch Letterman and I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, it was amazing, and he is amazing, but I think, like, so cool, like, friends coming over and sitting on the couch, and it was later on I realized, oh, they're promoting something, like they're selling, there's a machine going on, and some of that commercialism, I was like, ugh. As I started to do that, and knowing that part of the job has become selling things, and there are some things that are really fun to do. Like, I was very excited to do this,
We're excited to have you.
And thank you. And there are shows that I like, and I also have a thing where I just can't answer anything seriously. It's just like, oh, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Which is perfect in this setting.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the topic of Dave, I know that you've joined 2 fan clubs in your life. Scottish music duo, the Proclaimers, and David Letterman. Do you remember how you became one of Dave's disciples, and what do you think is his strongest quality as an entertainer?
I think that David Letterman is responsible for the sensibility and sense of humor of this country in a way he doesn't quite even get the credit. He has credit and respect and everything, but I think he is such an important figure, especially in early on this, and it lasted, but this sense of he didn't want to really be there.
Yeah, you know, I always think about that. You know, there was a time where I think that he was like competing with Leno, and then like there was a time where maybe he like took his foot off the gas, but to me he was funnier then.
Yeah, and the thing that he has that I find really appealing is he's got such a massive intellect that his disdain for all of showbiz and all of the nonsense that comes along with it he is so in its right place that I just don't think there's anybody better.
So topical for my video. The Paris Hilton one, it says it airs September of 2007.
Our first guest is a woman of many talents. She is a film star, a recording artist, and an entrepreneur. This is her latest fragrance called Can Can. Take a look at this right there. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the lovely Paris Hilton. Paris. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Look better than ever. Thank you so much for being here. How have you been? You all right?
Good. Good to be back in New York.
Yeah, good to have you here. How much time do you spend in New York City? A lot?
Not as often as I'd like.
Which do you prefer, New York City or Los Angeles?
I like both. I like the weather in LA better, but I love New York City.
New York City is exciting, though, isn't it?
I was born here, yeah.
Yeah, good for you. How'd you like being in jail?
Not too much.
Look at her smiling. I mean, she's so put on the spot. Because some of the comments were like, I would just walk off. If it was part of your agreement to go on the show that he not talk about it, and then he talked about it, I would walk off. If she just got up and walked off, she would be labeled the B word. She would. She has this live audience there. They're laughing. They're loving that question. I think she handled it like... She's cornered. So by smiling, it's gonna make people like her. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
God, that was just a horrible thing. God, wasn't it horrible?
Yeah,
It was,
definitely.
and you know what? They locked up your friend Nicole.
Sorry. He's patronizing her. He's making fun of her. He's saying the words wasn't that horrible, but his meaning behind that, you can tell, isn't, oh, that's horrible. His meaning is, ha 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 ha, you went to jail. Ugh.
She was only in for a short period of time, wasn't she? Now, how can she was only in for like 45 minutes? How did that work? How can somebody only be in for 45 minutes?
I don't know.
Tell us now. Looking back on that experience, what have we learned? What can you tell us? What's different about you going forward as you look back?
Well, obviously, it was a very traumatic experience.
God, was it? I think
I did it, so yeah. I feel like I can do anything now.
You can survive anything,
yes,
sure.
Definitely.
And I guess the food was just awful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be good. It's jail.
Did you have three meals a day?
Yes.
Would you start with the breakfast?
Obviously.
What would the breakfast be?
Like a hard-boiled egg and an orange.
That's not bad. Hard-boiled egg and an orange. You can't go wrong there, honestly. Because you have your protein and you have some fruit there. That's pretty good. So you don't get scurvy. You don't want to get scurvy. And then lunch. What do we do for lunch?
Sandwich.
Sandwich? What kind of sandwich?
Just bologna.
Bologna.
Yeah.
How was the bologna? Was it okay?
I didn't eat it.
Didn't eat the bologna?
No.
All right, then is there like a mid-afternoon snack?
No.
No. Go right to dinner?
Yes.
Are you eating alone in your cell, or is it a common dining area?
I was always alone.
Alone in your cell. What was dinner usually?
Like jail mystery meat. I have no idea.
You see?
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So of the three meals, I'm guessing really the only thing you probably wanted to eat was the breakfast, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Did you lose a lot of weight while you were in prison?
No.
Really? What did you do to keep your energy up? To make sure you get plenty of nutrition?
Just sit-ups, working out.
Sit-ups
There
and working
wasn't
out?
much to do. It was a 6x8 cell.
Yeah.
So.
It's just bizarre when you think about it, isn't it? That this was part of your life, that this actually happened to you, that you were in prison, for God's sakes?
I can't believe it either, but it's made me a stronger person.
Yeah.
So.
And what is it you did? Do you know what you did? I'm not sure. I don't think
You can see that she's uncomfortable and fidgeting, and she's trying to be a good sport. She gets it that have this audience here. I'm being filmed. I'm being watched. Be happy. Be that happy girl. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't be uptight, you know. But you can tell she's not happy. You can tell.
So, you don't want to do that. It was something about driving with an invalid license, wasn't it? Yeah. And well, you learned your lesson. Do you drive now?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you go out, do you still use alcohol? Do you drink at all?
If I have a driver, no.
You have a driver. That's very important. If you're going to go out and you're going to have something to drink, you should have a designated driver.
Everyone should, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And do you have your friends treated you differently since you've been out of the slammer?
People think that I was really strong, that I went through it, so.
God, it was just ugly, wasn't it? Have you made?
But I've moved on with my life, so I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
I know.
That's a clear indication. Please stop. I think she was hoping that he would stop by her body language. He didn't pick up on that. And so she's like, crap, I have to say it. He's forcing me to say it. I hate being put in that position. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of like when a guy is hitting on you and you have no interest and you've made it really obvious that you're not interested. You've not said the words directly, but you know, you've done things so that they know you're not interested in them. They force you to go, I'm not interested. Please stop. Because they just don't pick up. They don't pick up. Well, that's the thing. They do pick up. They don't care. They keep going. So let's see if he stops.
Oh, I appreciate that. See, this is where you and I are different, because this is all I want to talk about.
See, they do pick up. They know. They know you want to stop. They just don't care. And when I say they, I'm not just talking about some creepy guy or David Letterman. I want to keep reaffirming this idea. I'm talking about the mindset back then. And I'm happy to see that it's changing. It's not any one specific person. This was reality, okay?
Did you make any friends while you were in jail?
I'm not answering any more questions.
No more
about
questions
it.
about
I'm
jail?
here for my clothing line and my movie and my perfume. I'm not.
Okay, so now she said again she wants to stop. She's had to say out loud now she wants to stop.
Talk about that.
But I would just say that a person in your position could serve now as, I think, an exemplary role model for youngsters. And there's a lot of trouble in the world for kids. They have to be very careful. And they see now what has happened to you, and it might occur to them, my gosh, if it happens to someone, wealthy and famous and powerful, it might happen to me, so I better straighten my life out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And do you get correspondence like that from kids and teachers and clergymen and stuff?
I'm going on to the next question.
Okay.
Okay, she said a third time, I'd like to stop talking about this. The audience, they are just cackling. Sorry, my computer is dying. Ooh, we're at 5%. Ah! Sorry. Come on!
Yeah. But,
See, and I also think David is feeding off the audience. There's this one woman who's like, ah! You probably hear her. Anyway, I don't know. But he's feeding off his audience because clearly it's his show and his audience is happy. So And, in his mind, this is going well. Paris is the only one who's not happy. Everyone else is happy. So this is good, I'm sure, in his mind. So why would he stop? Ooh, okay. Did you just see so much body? I'm not a body language expert, but look at her turn away and then take a deep breath. She just looks so unhappy. Let's look at it again.
I would... Because in all seriousness now, this could be your legacy. This as a contribution to the young people of this country.
He just continues to patronize her. It's every time he says something where it's like, if you just read the words on paper, you would think that sounds nice. But then when you hear it with the tone, you can tell he's just kind of making fun of her. She looks like she's about to cry.
Love you too.
There. Somebody you met in prison? Because... I know. No, we really shouldn't. I know. Well, I haven't seen you because you know what happened. The week that you were supposed to be on the show, you had to go away. So now I haven't seen you since.
No, but now you're making me sad that I came because you're
please don't be sad. Are you really sad? No. Are you feeling better now?
You stop talking about it, yes.
I'll buy you a parakeet.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if you want to watch the rest, but from this clip, I think most of the time there's just about 10 to 15 minutes tops of airtime. So that's quite a bit of time spent on something that she said her stipulation for not going on the show. So Paris Hilton spoke about this interview after it resurfaced and everyone was talking about it. Paris spoke about it on her podcast. So let's cut to that clip here. This podcast is called This is Paris. It's from an episode called This is ... Nikki Hilton. I'm at the 16.14 marker. Here we go.
The documentary, it kind of sparked this whole new YouTube search for interviews with young celebs, especially young females. And one thing that kind of came up and is getting heat right now is David Letterman in the interview that he did with you. And he asked you basically about prison for 6 minutes out of the 8-minute interview. What was that? Interview. Okay. Was that a shock to you completely?
Yes. So at this point, I hadn't done an interview in months and months because I just didn't want to talk about it. So Letterman's team kept calling my PR team to have me be on the show, and we kept saying no. And then months later, I had a fragrance coming out, and his team called again, and basically my PR team made an agreement with him that was off limits and he would not discuss it, and we would only be there to promote the perfume and my other business ventures. And, I felt like it was a safe place because I'd been going on Letterman for so many years, and he'd always have, fun with me and joke around. But, I thought he would keep his word on this, and I was wrong. Wow. So there was not supposed to be one question, and then he just kept pushing me, and I was just getting so uncomfortable, and I was so upset. And Nikki, you were backstage. I remember talking to you after, and just being up there, and it was like he was just purposely trying to humiliate me. And during commercial breaks, I would look at him, I'm like, please stop doing this. Like, you promised me you wouldn't talk about this, and that's the only reason I agreed to come on the show. Like, please don't bring it up again. He's like, okay. And then again, and it's just like the whole audience, he's getting people to laugh. And it was just very...
Yeah, see, the audience, they were loving it. And so David's like, the show's doing well. Great,
Cruel and very mean. And then after it ended, I just looked at him and I said, I am never coming on this show again. Like that, you've crossed the line. Don't ever, I don't know. I didn't like tell him off because I'm not that type of person, but I got angry. And then he was apologizing and like sent like a case of like Chateau Lafite Rothschild wine to like our house, and like, I don't know.
So he knew he was wrong.
When I watched the thing, I was like, that's not an easy, and David Letterman's not a forgiving gentleman. Like, if you're doing an interview with David Letterman, he's going to ask what he wants and how he wants to do it.
Yeah.
And to know that they kind of, that the team lied and said that he wouldn't, and then he did. When you came off stage and you went to Nikki, what were you like? What kind of?
Just in tears and crying and shaking, and just like, I just felt just, Nikki, what do you remember?
I mean, I think it's fair game for him to ask you about it. But I think how he pushed it, I mean, it even says in the article that he pushed her to the point where she got uncomfortable and he crossed the line.
Yeah.
And just to have a young girl up there and ask her questions designed to humiliate her is cruel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that would happen today.
There's no way that would happen today. It's like such a different world now.
I'm sorry. I'm soaking it in. It's sad. It's sad. And it's clear as day that this was happening to women. Women. If I had watched this interview back then, I don't know how I would have perceived it. It was so much in our mind back then, like our mindset, that I mean, maybe I would have seen that back then and been like, that's messed up. She's saying she doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe. I really can't say, though. I am not sure that I would have. It was a mindset, and it was so contagious among so many people. And yes, I'm sure there were people who did speak out, but that would be a very small minority back then. And we've changed. We have changed. Okay. Let's go on to the Lindsay Lohan one. She doesn't have like a podcast talking about it, so we just have her interview to look at. So here it is. Sorry, this is 2013.
Are you ready? Never readier. Thank you. Our next guest is a talented actress starring in a new film entitled Scary Movie 5. I think it's a sequel. You do it. It's in theaters on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay Lohan.
I love her outfit. I'll wear that today.
Well, you look remarkably well.
He did it again. I mean, I guess... Sorry, I shouldn't be eating. Why did everyone laugh when he said you look remarkably well? It's a joke at her expense.
You know, I have routinely made jokes about you and the activities, true and otherwise. You're aware of that, right?
I like that you say true and otherwise.
Yeah.
True and false.
True and false. Some of the activities are not true at all. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay Lohan was on the Today Show this morning. The appearance went well. Only one camera is missing.
That would be a lot for me to carry, I think.
Yeah, it would.
I mean...
Now, do you routinely go around grabbing stuff?
Oh, no, well, we thought we were going to do a joke when I came out where my tag was still on my dress, and then you had to cut it off. And,
well, now, wait a minute. Who said no to that? That's tremendous.
We didn't get you in time.
Oh, no.
I was trying to pull a fast one, but Yeah, and then you were going to cut it off, and I would have said, oh, not again. I really can't cut any breaks.
But
But I did buy this one.
Oh, you did. But you don't, yes or no, do you steal stuff?
Do you?
No.
Do you steal your cups
No,
at the end of
you can have that. That's complimentary.
Oh, thank you. So we're done?
Lindsay Lohan's in court so often, the cafeteria has named a sandwich after her.
They don't let you eat there?
No, it's not so bad, is it?
What is this, like a gourmet course?
Yeah. Lindsay Lohan punched a psychic in a night.
I mean, she's trying to be a good sport. It's the same thing with Paris. When you are in front of the audience like that and you're being put on the spot, the reaction, like, I get it. The reaction you would have is just go with the flow, get through this, and then it'll be over. Just be happy, you know?
It was right after the psychic told her, "You will soon punch a psychic in a nightclub."
Set up.
Now, aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
He just goes to those questions with no, doesn't feel like any transition. He just throws them out. Look at that face that I paused on.
Do you not watch anything that goes on?
I do.
Tabloid now?
Now here's what
May 2nd.
I was under the May 2nd.
Yes.
And how long will you be in rehab?
3 months.
How many times have you been in rehab?
Several.
And how will this time be different? What are they rehabbing, first of all? What is on their list? What are they going to work on when you walk through?
That's so personal. She's not accountable to you. She doesn't have to tell you what she's working on. Ugh. I'm getting annoyed. Sorry.
Door.
We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview.
No,
Just saying.
but it'll be 3 months, and you
no, I think to be honest, I'm the happiest when I'm working and the healthiest, and I think this is an opportunity for me to, focus on what I love in life, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a blessing, and
to be able to, it's perhaps a lifesaver, a career saving.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, do you have addiction problems?
Now you sound like Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's just he's cornering these people.
Is it like alcohol? Do you drink too much?
We've just
He doesn't stop.
this in the past.
Oh, did we really? When did we discuss?
Well, because
I'm the one who's having the blackouts. What is that?
I'm just saying.
I ought to be in rehab, for the love of God. What is wrong with me? So now, when you go to the rehab, what do they do?
We're here for a movie.
We have to what?
Let's stay on the positive.
Oh, what?
Aside from that side of the positive.
Now she's clearly asking him to stop.
All right,
Come on now.
Okay, we'll talk about the movie.
I've been here since I was 7.
7 years old. How many times do you think you've been here?
I wouldn't know. I'll have to find out in rehab.
I have a list here of things that you've endured. Can I run down a few things here?
Oh, can I see them first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks.
You can read them or not read them.
Okay.
Up here are the
I thought you were going to be nice.
These are the appetizers up here. These are the main courses. There's your desserts down at the bottom.
Community service hours, 560.
Yeah.
At the morgue.
At the morgue. The LA County morgue?
AVD was there when I was there. Yeah, I was at the LA County morgue. Let's go on to the next one.
Those are the jokes.
Oh. Are you okay now? Are you okay now? It feels like people should be helping you. Do you have money saved? Therapy? Ask yourself, why always in trouble?
I love that she just grabbed that from him. I love that. And she should have. Good for her.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I'm a target. I've always been. And I put myself in the past in situations where, I take full responsibility for it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't funny. And I was being immature. And I was going through a phase. And I had a lot of family stuff going on and things in life. And you grow up and you're mature, and I've said that a million times. I know that, but what else am I supposed to say when it's a process of life? And I'm not trying to deny anything that any situation I've been put in.
Well, that's very nice of you to say all of this, and I'm happy for you. No, but I think you should be.
I know where this is going.
No, you don't know where it's going, but I'm saying.
No, I don't.
You're lucky that now we have this rehab that you're looking forward to, and you're saying what you say and you feel what you feel before you got hurt or someone else got hurt.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to taking time for myself, and the next time I come on the show, that will be in my past, and that's the past.
Because the best way through this, the victory is to succeed and get through this and have a wonderful life ahead of you. And as what they've always told me in psychiatry, and I've done my time.
We could do our own photo together about that. That's the next cover of the post.
Yeah.
It's like this. Do it with me. I've done my time.
And I'm fine. But you know what they say, and I know you've heard this, they say, well, first we put out the fire. First we put out the fire, and then we take care of the faulty wiring.
So your mic and my hair?
No, it's... oh, never mind. Just take care of the fire, then we get to the wiring problem.
No, I know. I've gone through a lot in life, and I'm looking forward to actually just taking time for me. You can't make a joke of it.
That's so mean. I'm not joking.
No, you're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I love that she's just saying that to him. She should. I'm repeating myself. Oh. Okay.
One or two?
No, this is my show now. Come back from rehab and take over your spot.
How about just
no,
just one?
I don't know.
Just not one. No. All right, you showed up. I mean,
you showed up.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to.
You know,
oh my God.
Well,
come on, be a father figure.
All right, fine. I'm like 3 times your age, for the love of God. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what, like, funny, like dropping dead soon? Was that what it is?
No. I just hope to be in a position like you are and happy and healthy.
Well, I think you will be. That's what I'm saying. You win by taking care of your life because people are rooting against you now. They love
They haven't before?
No, well, but so now the best way to show them that they're wrong
No,
is
I agree.
Turn it all upside down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Stop with that page.
We'll be right back with Lindsay Lohan, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi. I skipped a part in the interview because they start actually talking about the movie. Yay! But if you're wondering why it hops, okay, that's why.
Thank you. I know.
He didn't mean that.
I know.
Just say you didn't mean that.
Well, no, I didn't mean it.
Oh, here.
It's true, but I didn't mean it.
I'll go
We've
back.
been here doing the show about 30 years, and there's still people whose names I don't know.
Okay, that's what he said.
Thank you. I know.
He didn't mean that.
I know.
Just say you didn't mean that.
Well, no, I didn't mean it. It's true, but I didn't mean it. Lindsay, let's show them a clip of the film. This opens Friday. Scary movie. You have to be in rehab May 2nd. Are you going to be there? You'll be there, right? Who's taking you to rehab? You don't want to talk about that either, right?
Look at her face. You can see it on her face. Like, she thought they were done talking about that, and it's just so blank. Like, really, you can tell she's having thoughts, you know?
Oh, God. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
And you.
Jimmy and I will drive her to rehab.
And Tina Fey and Lorne Michaels.
And so when you come out, you'll...
No, but I don't want people to think that I'm making a joke of that.
No, you shouldn't make a joke
I'm not.
because this could be good for you. It will be good for you.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Have you been to this place?
No, it's not like a joking matter.
No, but I mean, but what in life can't we make light of, honestly? Really, we're all...
No, I'm fine with making light of myself. That's why I want to walk out with a tag on.
Yeah, I mean, we never thought we'd see you again, honestly, you know, because of the jokes and stuff, but yet you have enough spine, enough sense of yourself, enough poise to come out here and talk to me. All right, that's enough.
I thought this was going to be vodka.
Oh. Now you gotta stop drinking. You don't need they don't let you drink in rehab.
It was
do
a
they?
joke.
I know. I wish you'd come out with the tags on your dress, though.
I know, it would have been so funny.
Yeah. We'll do
it's
that.
Not funny because
do that on Fallon.
It's hurtful towards me. No, I love seeing you.
Yeah, I love seeing you. Honestly,
I do.
It's nice. Oh,
stop.
Oh, she's tearing up a little bit. God bless you.
I love you too.
There you go. Let's take a look at the.
So both of them had people from the audience yell "I love you" in a point where you can tell it's high emotion. That one person, and you know, I'm sure for both of them, that felt nice in that moment, just to know that somebody is empathizing with them.
The clip now. What is this going to be?
I believe this is the scene from Scary Movie when I'm with Charlie in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm. And he sees something that scares him. You see something that scares.
Yeah, he actually saw what happens in the scene. I haven't seen it yet, but oh, thanks. Let's make that obvious and all. But no, he sees something in the scene, and there's a lot of things that happen in the scene. Sorry, I'm flustered right now because you made me tear up because you were very sweet.
I'm sorry.
But
well, she did say she teared up because he's very sweet. So, I mean, we should listen to the words she's saying. But also, she is kind of on the spot. I would really love to hear her take on this. Okay, so that was the end of the Lindsay Lohan interview. It seems like she was frustrated with Dave while this was going on, but it doesn't, I don't know. We'd have to ask Lindsay. Since all this stuff has resurfaced, that I'm aware of, I don't think David Letterman has spoken about it. But I think we can gain some insight from his more recent interview with Kim Kardashian. Because in that interview, he speaks about hindsight. So let's see what he has to say. Years and years ago, I think I was not alone about this, probably joked about you and your show. Because I didn't know, and that's what I get paid to do, make jokes about that stuff. Everybody did, and here we are, and we're not laughing now. So I would imagine if you asked David today, I would imagine his thoughts and opinions have changed. Obviously, I don't know. But if they've changed about Kim Kardashian, I would imagine they've changed about Paris and Lindsay. Can I make it very, very clear? I'm speculating here. I don't know how he feels. I'm not David Letterman. I'm not trying to defend anybody, but I want to put it all on the table. I think, considering the atmosphere of the early 2000s, I think it's important to consider that when forming your opinions. It doesn't make it right, but it was the reality back then. So I think if somebody who behaved in that way back then, today, can acknowledge that, that's a good thing. Well, acknowledge that and then change their behavior. That's a good thing. We should still talk about this stuff back here, but I'm not trying to cancel people. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just talk about it. That's all. Is there anything else left? Let's see. I mean, there are more clips. There's the Diane Sawyer, Britney Spears clip. There's the Sarah Silverman, Paris Hilton. I mean, there's tons. I guess, no. I'm going to end it here, I think. I don't know how to end videos. I don't. I'm not good at it. This was just something to think about. Not that long ago, things were different. I think it's good that things are changing. On to editing. It's daytime now. By the time this video is up, it's going to be tomorrow probably. Editing is a nightmare. I really don't like it. Oh, you're not supposed to see my pants. Wait, some people might call this high fashion though. The Clash. Okay.